Well, the weather outside is frightening. It's wet. It's windy. And it's beautiful. I love it. Because there's nothing like a cold, wet day like that to come inside in my nice, warm shop and make a little video. I call this video "What Happens When You Do This?" And basically, you know, what happens when I push this new high-speed steel into aluminum. How well does it cut? How well does it chamfer? What happens when I push this round insert into aluminum? I usually end up with a part that looks interesting, serves no purpose, although more times than not that part will end up being part of a future project. Well, this one in this video has a good chance of that, because I at least have two nice knurled knobs I could get out of it. I got two jobs ready to be delivered. I got my couplers, 107 of those, and 250 of the rods with the knurled copper knob, or brass knobs. I just can't wait till mid-October to pick up that lathe up. If I had a pickup truck and a trailer, I'd be leaving on the hour. I'm about an hour away from Cleveland. I'm sorry, I'm about 3 hours away from Cleveland, and in my new lathe. And it's bugging the hell out of me that thing's sitting up there. It's paid for. It's ready to be, you know, it needs to be on my property. So it's my doctor's appointment. So you know, check out this video if you want. It's nothing, no real big project or anything. There hardly ever is. But just a few little practices and exercises, and seeing how well, you know, this insert works at that speed, and so on and so on. So enjoy the video. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching, and most of all, thank you for your comments. You know, I go to this is another segue into a tangent. I probably watch the majority of YouTube on my phone, and there's a little bell that I can, or some icon on there at the top I can hit, and it's notifications. It tells me, you know, who just, you know, which subscriber that I follow, you know, just released a video, and that's pretty much the guide to, you know, where I start from. Anymore, there's you know, one new video release and 15 comments from 15 different people, and that's just fantastic. You know, I appreciate all of it, and don't hold back. You know, I get a lot of criticism for this behavior or that, and And it's, you know, sometimes it's something that I know better, you know, and but I was either being lazy or, you know, I was just being lazy probably. And if it was a safety issue, it needs to be brought back to my attention. So, yeah, thank you. It's a hell of a community. I'm getting ready to go off on another one of those things, another diversion. Okay, guys. I'll see you next time. Maybe the next time I'll be sitting in a pickup truck heading to Cleveland. I'm acting like I'm done with this, but I'm not. I have to do something to this here. I just treat that with a file. I want to put a little chamfer on that there, and I'm going to use the new tool that I ground yesterday, which, let's see if we, I don't want to, so basically it will be an interesting to see how well each side, if this side can perform as well as that side did. You know, if anything, I'll end up with a nice aluminum knurled knob. And then it looks like this side of the tool is cutting at least as well as the other. Maybe better. I don't know what that did to this. So I need to take that radius tool in there and clean that up if it's necessary. There is a little line in there, so let's take that radius tool in there and knock that little line out of there. Fade that in. Okay. This has got to be about done. I guess the question is did I find out everything I wanted to know about the inserts that I wanted to know about? I think that shows the knurl okay. Okay, let me pull this thing back. Well, that's actually faced off just swell. Let me see if I can give it a light. The light facing. Yeah. Okay, something I can turn my chuck with that, see? Okay, I guess we're going to do something to the end of it. Because I don't feel like stopping yet. Get a piece of copper to wrap around that. Okay, there's like 9 thousandths. 5 thousandths. Okay, let's take a little material up of there and then see if I can beat it into. about 2/3 of it cleaned up. There's about 3 thousandths here. Do another 3 thousandths. Well, that's pretty cleaned up for the most part. I'm going to do 3 more thousandths. We're close to having that thing all the way home. Well, I guess that's exactly what you get if you turn it. That's dead nuts. Of course, I think it has to be dead nuts because I just turned it to dead nuts. So the true test is going to be what we have, what the indicator tells us here, because this was cut with this before we flipped this thing around. So let's bring it back here, and we know we're going to be dead nut 0. Some people just want to see it right on 0. Okay. Okay, now let's see what happens when we indicate on this surface. Like I said, this was the surface before we turned it around. And let's get that. Now let's just see. It's 3,000ths difference between those two surfaces, and boy do I have a sharp edge there. So that's not bad for a 3-jaw chuck, you know, indicating something then. You know what? Part of me wants to knurl this now. What the hell? Yeah, I think lots of oil and taking your time might be what gives you the knurl. I know, just until recently, you know, this past week, the first successful knurls. I guess I was just going way too fast before, and definitely not enough oil. I'm gonna try one more pass. I'm gonna go super slow. Just do a millimeter at a time. You know, being an ignorant American to metric, I've always known what a millimeter was because of cigarette adverts. Somebody's cigarette was a couple millimeters longer than the other guys. So that got me curious. And I have another curiosity I might share with you. I was born in December 8th, on December 8th, and that made me a Sagittarian, Sagittarius in the zodiac signs. Okay, so while I was spending my time in detention, grade school, I always kind of gravitated towards the encyclopedias, just kind of paged through them, and I learned that not only was I a Sagittarius, but the Earth was in the Sagittarian arm of the galaxy, and that was the outermost, one of the outermost arms of the spiral galaxy, and it was a Sagittarius arm, which was my birth month, and well, I just kind of stored that information away. And then around 2012, 2014, I learned that the Earth is in the Orion arm of the galaxy. And it's like really far away from the, no longer an outer ring. And then a year later, I learned that we're in the Orion spur. And then a couple months later, we're back in the Orion arm. And during this whole time, CERN was operating the most powerful machine on the planet. If I, is that the camera? Yeah. If I come down with Alzheimer's the next week or two, this is the reason why. Because aluminum has entered my bloodstream. Okay, there we go. There's another neural. It's a good one. You know, as far as I believe that this little machine will make a neural, I think that's probably as good as it gets for a $149 set from China, which includes a tool post and 5 holders. One thing nice though is the holder has a room for a piece of high-speed steel here on the back, and it can be turned on the tool post this way for facing. This means I'm going to have to put some grub screws back in there. Yeah, I have all this liquid aluminum on the bench now, and that probably is harmful. Okay, so let's get that big chamfering tool that I made yesterday and put a couple chamfers on this thing. A little more on that side. Okay, nothing sharp there, nothing's gonna bite. Well, I think that's it for this, whatever this is. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed as much as I enjoyed making it. Getting a little too comfortable.